welcome. Welcome to all of you to this very happy occasion. We're so glad you're all here to celebrate with us. Thank you to our wonderful musicians who have given us great cheer before we start in any further. And I want to say I'm Ann Slichter, president of the board of Countryside. I'm the mother of a 6th grader at Countryside and also of a Countryside graduate. Although there's much to say, we will not give long speeches today, nor will we give the many individual thank yous that are richly deserved. We can't have you standing here on this damp ground for hours that it would take to do that. So we have a short program and an all-encompassing thank you to everyone who has made this day come to pass. Yay. I will share this elegant podium with 2 people who have been instrumental in bringing Countryside to where it is today. And we will also hear a few words from an 8th grade student who has seen many changes at Countryside since she arrived here 2 years ago. After these remarks, there will be a Countryside cheer, and then our students will pick up their shovels and lead the groundbreaking. You're invited to stay and listen to the music by Medicare and to sample refreshments under the tent after the ceremony. Janice Truorgy represents one of the 3 founding families of Countryside School. She was Countryside's first president and held that job for 3 years. Ever looking for more work, Janice has now taken on another key position, chair of the building committee. Her leadership, determination, and unfailing hard work have been essential to Countryside's success. I will ask Janice to say a few words about Countryside's history.
Thank you, Ann. I appreciate the nice comments. I, too, am a Countryside parent. I have a daughter in 6th grade now and a son in 5th grade, and they're enjoying Countryside very much, as we are. I'm up here today to provide some historical perspective on this groundbreaking event, and Countryside's history is short. Can you all hear me in the back? Yes. Okay. So my comments will be short. 4 years ago, Countryside opened its doors with 12 students in grades 1 through 3, representing 11 families. We had 1.5 teachers, and we rented a storefront in the Stratford Center at Duncan and Kirby. The founders, who include Laura Walsh, who's here today, and Sandy Levin, who's also here today. Can you raise your hands? Great. The 3 of us started Countryside in order to expand and enrich the educational opportunities available in this community. Little did we know that our storefront classroom and vacant lot playground would serve our needs this long. But even farther from our thoughts and beyond our wildest expectations was the idea that we'd be buying land and building our own facility this soon. I'm delighted that 7 of the 11 original families are still with Countryside and will have the pleasure of being in our beautiful new facility next year. I think that's wonderful. It's because of the rest of you who joined the Countryside family since that first year and made your commitment to high quality education that we are here today. And it is because of the generosity of all of our families and some friends that we've been able to raise enough money to begin building our new facility on schedule. And I just want to extend a warm thank you to all of you. This is a great moment in Countryside's history, and we're all proud to be part of it. At this point, I'd like to acknowledge the wonderful efforts of our architects. If you want to come forward up here, architects. It's been a great experience working with the team at Architectural Spectrum of Champaign. They've done a superb job of understanding our needs and designing a facility to meet those needs. And we have with us a rendering of the building down here in front that also shows a site plan and the floor plan. So if you'd like to come up and look at it later, you're welcome to. But I'm real pleased that 3 of this team have joined us this morning. We have Neil Strack, Brett Stillwell, and Tom Cam. And it's been a real pleasure working with all of them. Thank you. There's another team that we'll be working with a lot, and that is our contractor. If the contractors could come up. This is W Commercial Builders of Urbana, and we've already gotten to know them, and we think they are a high quality and honorable firm, and we're really looking forward to working with them. And we have, you can just come on up and face the crowd here, Bruce. Bruce Bolliger and Ed Mueller of Commercial Builders. Yes, and I'd like to acknowledge their gift to us this morning of an engraved shovel, brand new for our groundbreaking. It says Countryside School, October 9th, 1996. Thank you very much. I'd just like to add that they are poised to start digging this week, so we'll need to move out of here. Their goal is to beat the winter weather and get the foundation in before Thanksgiving. And our completion date is slated for June 1st, so I'd like you all to mark your calendars for an early June moving date. We'll need your help. Okay, thank you all for joining us in our celebration today.
Thank you, Janice. That was great. Our podium is slightly wobbly here. I hope it won't all collapse. In fact, but very elegant. I have to pinch myself today to make sure I'm really standing here with all of you, shovels in hand, ready to break ground for a beautiful building of our own. Janice has told you how the school was founded a mere 4 years ago. What an incredible distance we've come in this short time. We now have 109 students, 14 faculty members, a head, and an administrative staff of 2. I speak today on behalf of all who have worked so hard to bring about this moment. We share a vision for Countryside, to offer academic excellence and a fulfilling, comprehensive education in which learning is a joy. All who work to make this new school a reality have shared a very deep experience. We united to meet an important common goal. We worked toward something much larger than ourselves. We gave more of ourselves and of our money than most of us had ever done before. A collection of many individual efforts joined together for a magnificent common purpose has brought us to this threshold. The process mirrors what Countryside students experience every day, the joy of learning, the joy of stretching beyond what you ever thought you could do, the joy of working with others to achieve much more than you could ever do alone. For 4 years, we looked at buildings, walked in and out of dozens, looking for a good space at the right price. We shopped for land. When the board concluded last January that there was no suitable or affordable building for us in town, we began negotiations with Tom Harrington, who is our landlord in our current site, for this lovely parcel of land here. Then we began interviewing architects and builders and found ourselves unanimously drawn to Architectural Spectrum and Commercial Builders. So much has been accomplished since just last January. I thank everyone who has given so much to make this day possible. You made significant donations, helped plan the building, offered your expertise, organized this event today, and gave your time when it was needed. If I were to mention a single name, it would have to be followed by 100 others, board members, parents, staff, students, and a number of people outside the Countryside community. Thank you to all who have played a part. You have donated more than $650,000 since we began our campaign last spring. Families from all economic levels have made truly generous gifts for the building. Even students have offered their allowance money or their birthday money to help the building project go forward. The 4-5 class sold advertising for a class newspaper and will contribute its profits toward a new playground. The Champaign County Board helped us lower our borrowing costs by agreeing to issue tax-exempt bonds for Countryside. We are very grateful for that. We have raised the money for the entire building in these few months. We still need more. We still need to raise almost $80,000, primarily for playgrounds, landscaping, and a soccer field. But I know that with a little more help, we'll get there. I'm proud of our wonderful venture together and want us to celebrate today our many accomplishments. I want each of you to feel proud of the role you played to bring us to this point. There's much work ahead. A building needs to go up there. But I declare this a day of celebration and thanks. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce Kathy Weber, head of Countryside School. Kathy has transformed the school in her 2 years as head. She has articulated and extended our vision for the school, developed exciting curricula, inspired and guided the staff, and created, through her own spirit and enthusiasm, a level of teamwork and school spirit that is positively contagious. Kathy.
Thank you, Ann. It's easy to have a lot of enthusiasm and spirit because we have a wonderful school with an outstanding faculty and the best students you could find any place, right? Yay! I welcome you today on behalf of that staff and those students to this very special occasion. I want to thank, on behalf of the staff and students, the architects who took such care to get involved in watching the building go up. I want to thank the staff members who have put more hours and time into education as well as planning what is going to be our new building. I want to thank the families who have dedicated so much of their time to this effort. Without the board members, the development committee, and people who persevered beyond what could possibly be expected, this wouldn't be possible. When Ann and I attended a conference last year for the Independent Schools Association of Central States, it's a long title, we were told that in order to mount a building campaign, we would need 2 years to prepare for it. The campaign began last April, and I'm very happy and I'm very proud of Ann and the people that worked so hard to make this feat that was supposedly unaccomplishable an accomplished feat. We're all here today for one reason, and that is because of the students. So today I'm going to introduce to you Jenny Bartlett, who will be the first student who will have completed all 3 grades of the Countryside Middle School. She is here to speak on behalf of all 109 students. Jenny?
Thank you, Mrs. Weber. I would like to say on behalf of all the students here at Countryside, we're delighted to move the building. It'll provide us with what we need, space and also the facilities. We have found a need to have more space not only to accommodate the students we have now, but also the students we're going to have later. When we talked to the architects about what we wanted to see, I think the thing they heard the most was we want more space, personal space for anything. We get by with what we have, but I don't think Mrs. Weber and Miss Richardson would like to spend another year cramped in their little office. I think one of the most important things about our new building is that we'll finally all be together. This will be a way to get to know each other. Sure, we know the kids in our class, but I think once we're all in one building, we'll all be together and we'll work together more as a whole school, not just, say, a middle school or a lower grade. I think even the 4-5s are a little separate since they have their own entire building. And like I said earlier, the other thing we most need is space. If you've seen some of the places we keep all of our space in small drawers and just shelves, we just need more. We're getting rid of, we'd like to get rid of some of the cabinets, bookshelves we have now because they're just blocking up our room. We can display more of our lovely school work we do, and we'll have more place to put a lot of our school supplies. I'm sure I could go on and on about how great a new building would be, but you might get bored after a while. So on behalf of all the students, I'd like to thank everyone who put their time, effort, and wallets into the new building. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
This indeed has been a success story, so as we begin our dig, we are going to celebrate it with a success cheer.